Alex never expected his day to be anything special. It started like any other. He woke up, had breakfast, and decided to take a walk in the woods near his town. The woods were quiet, full of tall trees and soft green grass. He liked walking there, because it helped him think and forget about his worries for a while. But today, something very unusual was about to happen. As Alex walked deeper into the forest, he noticed something strange. The sunlight was dimmer here, and the air felt cooler. Birds were silent, and the usual sounds of animals were missing. Curious, he followed a narrow path he had never seen before. The path led him to a small, hidden cave entrance covered with vines and leaves. It looked mysterious and a little scary, but Alex's curiosity was stronger than his fear. He decided to go inside. The cave was dark at first, but as Alex walked further, he saw a faint glowing light ahead. The light grew brighter, showing a large underground chamber filled with strange, colorful plants and glowing crystals. The air smelled fresh but different from the outside world. Alex felt like he had entered another place, not just under the forest, but maybe another world altogether. In the middle of the chamber, there were people, or at least creatures who looked like people. They were tall, with smooth, shining skin that changed colors softly. Their eyes were bigger than normal humans, and they moved gracefully. Alex realized these were not ordinary people. They were aliens. Alex froze, unsure of what to do. He wanted to leave, but his feet didn't move. The aliens noticed him but didn't seem angry or scared. Instead, they looked curious, like they had never seen a human before. One of them, a young woman with silver hair and bright green eyes, stepped forward. She smiled softly and reached out her hand. Alex's heart beat faster. He didn't know why, but he felt he could trust her. Slowly, he reached out and took her, hand in his. The moment their hands touched, a strange warmth spread through Alex's body. It was as if the connection between them was more than just skin deep. Around them, the other aliens stopped talking and stared. Some looked surprised, others confused. Then the heavy doors at the far side of the chamber opened, and a tall figure walked in. She wore a long, elegant robe that sparkled like the night sky. Her presence was powerful and calm. This was the alien queen. Her eyes locked onto Alex and the young woman holding his hand. For a moment, she just stared, her face full of shock. Then she spoke with a voice that echoed in the chamber, asking, "Why is my daughter holding your hand?" Alex wanted to answer, but the words got stuck in his throat. The queen looked at her daughter, waiting for an explanation. The young woman looked at Alex, then back at her mother, her face calm but serious. It was clear this was not something she had expected either. Alex tried to understand what was happening. He was no longer just a visitor. He was part of something bigger, something he never imagined possible. The alien queen's question hung in the air, heavy with meaning. It was clear that holding hands was more than just a simple gesture in this place. It carried deep importance and maybe even danger. The young woman finally spoke, her voice steady. She told her mother about the day she met Alex outside, away from the eyes of their people. She explained how he helped her when she was in trouble, how they talked for hours and became friends. The queen listened carefully, her shock slowly, turning into curiosity. Alex watched the scene, feeling a mix of fear and hope. He had no idea what the future held, but something inside him told him that this moment was the start of a new journey, one that could change everything for both, humans and aliens. The queen's gaze softened just a little, but she still had many questions. Alex knew he would need to prove himself, not just to her, but to the entire alien world he had suddenly entered. He hoped he was ready for the challenge. The chamber was silent again, but the air was different now. It was filled with possibility and the chance for something new and important to happen. Alex squeezed the young woman's hand gently. and she smiled back, giving him strength. Together, they stood in the middle of the alien world, two different beings connected by a simple touch. A touch that was about to change their lives forever. After the alien queen spoke, the whole chamber seemed to hold its breath. Everyone was waiting for the daughter's answer, and Alex felt the weight of their eyes on him too. He wasn't sure what would happen next, but he knew this moment was very important. The young woman, whose name was Lyra, took a deep breath. She looked at her mother, the alien queen, with respect, but also with courage. "Mother," she said softly, "I met him outside, away from our people. He helped me when I was lost and scared. He did not judge me. I trust him." The alien queen's eyes narrowed as she listened. Trust was a serious thing in their world. Aliens and humans had not been friends for a long time. In fact, many in the alien society believed humans were dangerous. For the queen, her daughter's trust was both a blessing and a worry. "Why should I believe a human?" the queen asked, her voice strong but not angry. "They have caused problems for us before. You know this." Lyra nodded. "I know, Mother, but Alex is different. He saved me when no one else would. He showed kindness. He did not want anything from me. That means something." Alex felt nervous, but also a little proud. He wished he could say more, but he knew it was Lyra's story to tell. The queen looked at Alex again, her sharp eyes studying him carefully. For a moment, it felt like she was trying to see inside his heart. Then, she took a step closer. Her voice was quieter but serious. "If you want to be here, if you want to be trusted, you must show us who you really are. This is not a game. Our worlds are very different, and many will not accept you." Alex nodded, understanding the challenge. He was not just a visitor now. He was someone who had to prove himself in a world full of rules he didn't know. The queen turned to the others in the chamber and said, "We will watch him closely. He must learn our ways and respect our laws." Lyra smiled gently at Alex and squeezed his hand. "I will help you," she promised. "You don't have to do this alone." Alex felt a rush of hope. Having Lyra's support made the strange place feel a little more like home. The other aliens began to relax too. The tension in the room started to fade. A tall alien named Zar stepped forward. He was one of the Queen's trusted advisors. Zar looked at Alex and nodded slowly. "We will begin your training tomorrow," he said. "You will learn about our history, our language, and our customs. It is the only way to survive here." Alex swallowed. The idea of learning all these new things was scary, but he knew it was necessary. He wanted to be a bridge between their worlds, and this was the first step. As the meeting ended, the aliens began to move away, returning to their daily lives in the underground world. Lyra stayed close to Alex. "Come with me," she said. "I will show you where you can rest." Alex followed her down a quiet corridor lined with glowing plants. The light was soft, and the walls shimmered with colors he had never seen before. It was beautiful, but strange. They reached a small room filled with comfortable cushions and warm blankets. "This is your place for now," Lyra said. "Tomorrow will be hard, but I will be with you every step of the way." Alex sat down, feeling both tired and excited. He thought about how much his life had changed in just a few hours. From walking in the forest to standing in an alien chamber, everything was new and strange. He looked at Lyra and smiled. "Thank you for helping me," he said. "I don't know what the future holds, but I want to try." Lyra smiled back. "That is all anyone can ask." The next morning came quickly. Alex woke early and prepared himself for the day. He met Zar and other teachers who welcomed him with polite but serious faces. They began by teaching him simple words in their language and explaining their traditions. Alex worked hard to remember everything. Some of it was confusing, like their rules about showing respect or their unusual ways of greeting one another. But he listened carefully and tried to follow. During breaks, Lyra stayed by his side, helping him practice the language and explaining things in ways that made sense. She told stories about their people's history, their struggles, and their hopes. As the days passed, Alex began to feel more comfortable. He was learning not just the language, but the culture and the feelings behind it. He saw that the aliens were not so different from humans after all. They had families, dreams, fears, and hopes. One afternoon, the alien queen came to observe the training. She watched Alex closely as he answered questions and showed respect. She asked him about his life on Earth and listened carefully to his answers. When the session ended, she spoke quietly to Lyra. "He is learning. Maybe there is hope." Lyra smiled softly. "I believe so, Mother." Alex felt a warm glow inside. It was the first time he saw the Queen's approval, even if it was quiet and cautious. That night, as he prepared to sleep, Alex thought about everything he had experienced. He had gone from a curious human walking in the woods to someone living in an alien world, learning new ways, and building a future that no one could have imagined. He reached for Lyra's hand, and she took it gently. "Thank you for believing." "In me?" he said. "Always," she replied. Together, they looked toward the future, knowing it would be full of challenges, but also full of hope. Days passed, and Alex continued learning about the alien world. Every day was filled with new lessons and experiences. He woke early, eager to learn more, but sometimes felt tired from trying to understand everything. The language was different from anything he had known, and the customs were sometimes hard to follow. Yet he kept going, driven by the hope of building a bridge between the two worlds. Lyra was always by his side, helping him when he struggled. She was patient and kind, explaining things in a way that made sense. Sometimes she would laugh when Alex made mistakes, but she never made him feel bad. Instead, she encouraged him to try again. One evening, after a long day of lessons, Alex and Lyra sat outside the underground chamber. The sky above was filled with stars, shining brighter than any Alex had seen on Earth. The air was cool and calm. It was one of the few quiet moments they had. Lyra looked at Alex and smiled softly. "You've come far," she said. "But there is something important you need to know." Alex looked curious. "What is it?" Lyra's expression grew serious. "Our people have rules about relationships with outsiders. It is not common for an alien to bond with a human. Some do not understand. They might not accept it." Alex nodded slowly. He had suspected this, but hearing it made the situation more real. "What happens if they don't accept it?" Lyra sighed. "There could be problems. The Queen might forgive me, but others may not. It could be dangerous." Alex reached out and held her hand gently. "We will face it together. I'm not afraid." Lyra smiled again, feeling comforted by his words. "I'm glad." The next day, Alex was called to meet the alien queen again. This time, it was a private meeting in a beautiful room filled with soft light and glowing plants. The queen sat on a tall chair, her eyes calm but watchful. "Alex," she said, "you have learned much, and you have shown respect. But there is one thing you must understand. Our bond with my daughter is not just friendship. It is deeper. It carries meaning and responsibility." Alex nodded. "I understand, Your Majesty. I care for Lyra, and I want to protect her." The Queen studied him for a long moment. Then, she spoke more softly. "Why do you think she chose you? What do you see in her that others do not?" Alex thought carefully. "Lyra is kind, brave, and wise. She sees the world differently. I think she is lonely sometimes because she is different from others." I want to be there for her, to help her find happiness. The queen's eyes softened a little. You speak honestly. That is good. But there are many in my world who will not understand. Some may try to stop this bond. Alex felt a chill. What can I do? The queen stood and walked closer. You must be patient and strong. Trust is built slowly. You must show them your true heart through actions, not just words. She paused, then added, There is one more thing. You will be tested. It is a tradition for those who join our world. It is not easy, but it will show who you really are. Alex swallowed hard, but nodded. I am ready. The queen gave a small smile. Good. Tomorrow your test will begin. When Alex left the room, he found Lyra waiting outside. She took his hand, her eyes full of support. No matter what happens, I will be with you. That night, Alex could hardly sleep. His mind was full of questions and worries. What was the test? Would he pass? Would the alien world accept him? The next morning, he was led to a large open space deep inside the alien city. The area was surrounded by tall walls, covered in glowing vines. In the center was a circle made of shining stones. A group of aliens stood around, watching silently. Czar, the queen's advisor, explained the rules. The test is one of courage and understanding. You must complete 3 challenges that show your heart and mind. You will not be alone, but you must act on your own. Alex took a deep breath and stepped into the circle. The first challenge appeared as a puzzle of lights and colors. It looked confusing, but as he focused, he began to see patterns. Lyra whispered encouraging words, and slowly he solved the puzzle. The crowd murmured in approval. The second challenge was more difficult. Alex had to communicate with a strange creature that looked like a mix between a bird and a reptile. The creature was shy and frightened. Alex remembered what Lyra taught him about patience and kindness. He spoke softly and slowly reached out his hand. After a moment, the creature moved closer and allowed Alex to touch it. The crowd smiled, impressed by his gentle heart. The final challenge was the hardest. Alex had to enter a dark cave alone. The cave was filled with strange noises and shadows. He could feel his fear rising, but he reminded himself why he was there. For Lyra, for peace between their worlds. Inside the cave, he found a glowing crystal that symbolized trust. He carefully picked it up and carried it out. When he stepped into the light, the aliens cheered. The alien queen came forward, her face proud. You have passed the test, Alex. You have shown courage, kindness, and understanding. You honor our people. Alex felt a wave of relief and joy. He looked at Lyra, who smiled proudly. The queen turned to the crowd. Let this be the beginning of a new path, where humans and aliens can walk together. From that day, Alex was no longer just a visitor. He was part of their world. His bond with Lyra became a symbol of hope and change. But Alex knew the journey was just beginning. There would be challenges ahead, but with courage and love, anything was possible. After Alex passed the test, things began to change in the alien world. People who were once suspicious of him started to look at him with more respect. They saw that he was serious about learning their ways and that he cared deeply for Lyra, the alien queen's daughter. But even with this new respect, Alex knew that earning full trust would take time. Every day, Alex worked hard to understand more about the alien culture. He learned about their history, their traditions, and their hopes for the future. The aliens had lived underground for many years, protecting themselves from dangers on the surface. They had built a beautiful world filled with light and life, but also with rules that kept them safe. Alex found the rules strict but fair. He realized that their way of life was built on respect for each other and for the world around them. This made him appreciate their society even more. He wanted to be a part of it, not just for Lyra, but because he believed in what they stood for. Lyra was always with him, guiding him through this new life. She introduced him to her friends and family. At first, some of them were quiet and watchful, unsure if they could trust a human. But as they saw how kind and respectful Alex was, their attitudes began to change. One evening, the alien queen invited Alex to a special gathering. It was a celebration of the history and strength of their people. The room was filled with music and colors, with aliens sharing stories and laughter. Alex felt honored to be included. The queen came to him and spoke quietly. "You have done well, but now there is something more important: building a future. We must show the world that humans and aliens can live together in peace." Alex nodded. "I want to help with that. But how can we do it?" The queen smiled softly. "By working together. We will send ambassadors to your world, and you will help guide them. You will be the link between our peoples." Alex felt proud and nervous. It was a big responsibility, but he knew it was the right path. Over the next weeks, Alex and Lyra prepared for this new mission. They studied both worlds carefully, learning about the places and people they would meet. Alex told Lyra stories about Earth, its beauty and its problems. Lyra shared her knowledge of the alien world's strengths and challenges. They talked late into the night, dreaming about what could be. A world where humans and aliens understood each other, worked together, and lived in peace. It was a hope that had seemed impossible before. One day, as Alex practiced speaking in the alien language, a group of young aliens approached him. They looked curious and friendly. One of them, a boy named Taryn, stepped forward. "We have heard about you," Taryn said. "Some of us were unsure at first, but now we want to learn from you. Can you teach us about your world?" Alex smiled warmly. "I'd like that very much." He spent time with the young aliens, sharing stories about Earth's mountains, oceans, and cities. He showed them pictures and taught them simple words in English. They laughed and asked many questions. It was the start of new friendships. Lyra watched happily. "This is how we begin," she said, "with understanding and kindness." But not everyone was happy. Some aliens still feared change. They whispered doubts and worries. They feared that humans might bring danger or hurt their way of life. Alex knew these fears were real. Change can be hard, and old wounds take time to heal. But he also knew that the only way forward was through patience and respect. One day he asked the alien queen about these fears. She looked thoughtful. "We must listen to them and show them that trust is earned. This will take time. But your bond with Lyra is a strong example." Alex felt the weight of her words. It would not be easy, but he was ready to try. As the days turned to weeks, Alex and Lyra continued their work. They helped the aliens prepare for the journey to Earth. They learned about Earth's culture and ways. Alex met with human leaders, telling them about the alien world and the hope for friendship. Slowly, a new connection began to form between the two worlds. It was fragile and new, but it was real. One night, as Alex and Lyra stood together looking at the stars, Lyra took his hand and said, "We have come far, but there is still much to do. Are you ready?" Alex squeezed her hand. "I am." Together. They knew the road ahead would be full of challenges, but with courage and love, they believed anything was possible. Their bond was not just between two people. It was a symbol of a new beginning, a future where different worlds could come together as one. Time moved forward, and the bond between Alex and Lyra grew stronger every day. They had faced many challenges, but their love and trust helped them overcome those difficulties. Their story became a symbol of hope for both humans and aliens. The day finally came when the alien queen announced that she would give her official blessing to their relationship. It was a moment that many had been waiting for, but no one knew how it would unfold. In a large hall filled with glowing lights and peaceful sounds, the queen sat on her throne. Around her were many aliens, some curious, some still unsure, and some who had come to accept Alex and Lyra's bond. Alex stood beside Lyra, feeling nervous but ready. The queen looked at Alex, her eyes soft but serious. "Alex, you have shown courage, respect, and kindness. You have passed tests not only of skill, but of heart. Today, I give you my blessing." The crowd quietly watched, and some nodded with approval. Alex felt a warm feeling inside. This was not just acceptance. It was a promise of peace between their worlds. The queen then turned to her daughter. "Lyra, you have chosen well. Your heart is brave and true. May your union bring new hope to our people." Lyra smiled brightly, holding Alex's hand tightly. "Thank you, Mother." After the ceremony, there was a celebration. Aliens and humans who had come together shared stories, laughter, and plans for the future. It was a night full of light and joy, a new beginning for both worlds. Alex and Lyra stood together watching the celebration. Alex looked at the stars shining through the ceiling and thought about how far they had come. From a chance meeting in the woods to this moment of unity, everything felt like a dream. Lyra leaned on his shoulder. "This is just the start," she said softly. Alex nodded. "Yes, but it feels like the right start." In the days that followed, Alex worked closely with the alien queen and her council. He helped prepare ambassadors to travel to Earth, sharing stories and teaching them about humans. He also invited humans to visit the alien world, hoping to build friendships and understanding. At the same time, Alex and Lyra continued to strengthen their bond. They learned from each other, growing closer with every passing day. Their love was not just between two people. It was a symbol of hope for a better future. But even with the Queen's blessing, challenges remained. Some aliens and humans still feared change. They worried about what the future might bring. Alex knew that trust must be earned every day and that patience was key. One afternoon, Alex met with a group of young aliens who had once been doubtful. They asked him questions about Earth, its people, its problems, and its dreams. Alex answered honestly, sharing stories of kindness and struggle, hope and fear. The young aliens listened carefully, and slowly their hearts began to open. Lyra watched from nearby, smiling. "This is how it begins," she said. "With conversation and understanding." Alex agreed. "It's not easy, but it's worth it." Together, they dreamed of a future where humans and aliens could live side by side, learning from each other and growing stronger together. It was a future filled with possibility, a future they would build hand in hand. As the sun set, over the alien world, Alex and Lyra stood together once more. Their hands were joined, their hearts united. They had faced fear and doubt, but love and hope had won. The alien queen approached and placed a gentle hand on Alex's shoulder. "You are part of our world now," she said quietly, "and together we will make a new history." Alex looked at her and then at Lyra. He felt ready for whatever came next. The journey had been long and hard, but it had led to something beautiful and true. With the stars shining above, two different worlds had found a way to come together through trust, courage, and love.